Hey everybody, Phil here. This is a very political little video that I'm going to make. I'm on the mailing list from the White House, like anybody can be. And, you may ask, why do I care? I'm not American, I'm Canadian, I don't live in America, I live in Japan. But, the impact of America is worldwide, for good or for bad. So right now, as you might know, there's a president of the United States called Donald Trump, and he is very anti-immigrant. And he sent out this recent email here, or the White House did, which is all about the economic harm caused by the immigration system. And one of the things that they talk about here is that the majority of immigrant-headed households use at least one welfare program. Sorry, my hair is horrible. Always. And all of this stems from this report from the Center for Immigration Studies. They don't talk about that in the email, and it's pretty hard to track down where it comes from, but all of the information in the email from the White House comes out of this thing from the Center for Immigration Studies, which is a group that is funded by the Republican Party and by conservatives, and its goal is to reduce immigration. So you always have to question a source like that. But looking at the report even, it's quite shocking, in my opinion, as an outsider, that they're comparing in the report, at least they do compare immigrant versus what I think humorously they call native households. And they mean, I guess they struggled to find a word that meant not immigrant, but native kind of means something else. But I assume when they say native, they don't mean indigenous, they mean non-immigrant, though all Americans except indigenous are immigrants. But to get back to this, the thing that I found shocking are the native numbers. That, they're talking about, 44% of immigrant-led households use some form of welfare if you take away Medicaid. But, 44% is a lot, but 26% of non-immigrant headed households use some form of welfare. More than a quarter of American households use some form of welfare. That is shocking to me. And, the 22% of non-immigrant-led households use food programs. 22% of your population uses food programs. And that's amazing. And the interesting thing is that if you take that thing and say, it's... they're saying if you lump together all welfare things, including Medicaid, that 51% of immigrant households are using some form of welfare, including Medicaid, and versus, where is it? It's 30% of non-immigrant headed households are using some form, 30%. But if you break it down and look at the immigrant groups, the interesting thing is that immigrant-headed households from Europe, blanket, so just anywhere in Europe, and I don't know where, if they're using European Union or whatever, but anywhere in Europe, it's actually only 26%. So immigrant households, where the head of the household is an immigrant from Europe, actually use less welfare resources than the American population, Native American population, non-immigrant American population, headed households. And even more interesting is South Asia, and I think South Asia, Americans define South Asia as India and India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, in that area. I believe that's how the Americans define South Asia. That's only 17%. So those, you actually should be getting more of those people in, because they're using half the resources that even the American population, non-immigrant American households are using. 17% versus 30%. So, okay, you can look that some immigrants are using a lot, but some immigrants are using a lot less. So it's not a blanket statement to say that immigration is bad. Immigration from some areas might be economically a drain on the welfare system, though other people argue it's not. So I just wanted to put this out there. Nobody cares what my political ideas are, but I just think somebody should say it. And many people should say it, that you have to look a little bit below the surface. That's all for now. See you later.